rest. So if I say I'm fine, just know that I learned to hide it well. I know I can't be the only one.
Jelly Roll is back in the news, and they're not talking about it real big, but he, every now and then you have something that kind of happens that kind of cuts through all the noise and all the lights, the glam, the chaos of the world. And when we're talking about celebrity, this is something I kind of like this little trend I'm seeing with Jelly Roll because it sort of pierces the human soul. So I saw this clip. We were going to talk about it yesterday. Didn't get a chance to. Jelly Roll, who let's be honest, he's been honest about his addictions and all of his own shortcomings. He's been to hell and back. He was in the middle of a concert, middle of a show. The crowd's all hyped up. He's doing his thing, and then he stops mid-song because he sees this young girl in the crowd holding a sign. It's got a message on it, one of those gut-tightening, throat-tightening signs. You know, it said her mother had passed away. And this little girl, this brave little soul, she's at the concert holding that sign up high. She's crying, she's grieving, but she still showed up for the show. And watch what happened. Clip.
First of all, we love you, Elena. What a strong young lady it takes to be here representing your mama like that. And I'm not sure that I can say anything that can make it better, because I know what it's like when stuff's just not okay. And I hope you know that it's okay to not be okay. But I promise you it's going to be all right, little Elena Rose. All right, baby girl? And I can tell you this, you made 40,000 friends tonight, and Mama's smiling down at you, girl. We're going to dedicate this to her, okay? I'm not okay. I'm barely getting by. I'm losing track of days. Woo! And I am not okay. I'm hanging on the rails. So if I say I'm fine, just know that I learned to hide it well. I know I can't be the only one who's holding on for dear life. But God knows I know when it's all said and done that I'm not okay, but it's all gonna be alright. It's not okay, but we're all gonna be alright. Ain't that right?
I'm not crying. You're crying, Steve.
Yep. None of us are okay, but I hope we're all right with the Lord.
Yeah.
You know?
You know, when you think about that, and obviously people say, oh, he's just doing that attention. But, I'm so sick of people's rhetoric with that kind of stuff. I mean, he could have just gone on with his show. He could have ignored the whole deal. Our good friend Cody Johnson, he stopped a lot of shows when he's seen signs and done things. We've seen people do this. But you think about the kind of strength that it takes to do that. I mean, most adults don't have the guts to kind of walk through grief of losing a loved one, much less a mother, let alone go into a public space surrounded by people at a concert and say, I'm still here, I'm hurting, but I'm here. And Jelly Roll, you kind of hear his voice crack a little bit in that deal. I mean, he gets the words out, but he could have just brushed past it, but instead he leaned in. And that's what I like to see, is when these guys lean in. And they say to, this little girl says, what a strong lady it takes to be here. You represent your mama like that. I'm not sure I could say anything to make it better, but I promise you it's all going to be all right. It fits in well with the song. I mean, it works out pretty good,
It's a message. He's a vessel, and man, God uses some vessels that are well used.
Well used. There's been a lot run through them, right?
It's like, but you brought up Cody there for a minute, and for the longest time, he would always say, I'd like to thank the man upstairs, and then it had a meeting with his pastor, and after that, it was I want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And say his
listen,
name.
you know, say his name. You know, Jelly Roll's on a journey. He's on a journey. I mean, he's doing an outward transformation. I call it the Luke Combs diet. He's starting to look like Luke Combs because he's losing weight. He's getting down to Luke Combs weight, which is still a pretty big old boy. No, when you live in a world where everything is polished and kind of curated and photoshopped and filtered, but, you know, real pain in our world doesn't play up to those rules of publicity. But when it shows up kind of raw like that, and it breaks out in public and interrupts things, interrupts life, because grief interrupts life. You know, that song, that I'm Not Okay, that song's actually ministered to me in recent months. And it's just like Cody Johnson's Human. I mean, that song, I keep it on repeat. And that is what makes us all human, man. You know, we wear the pain like we're supposed to hide it, like this invisible badge. And we bury it deep. We don't want people to know. We're talking about something that's bothering you today. You know that there's some things that have been bothering me and lately, you know, recent months. The last 2 years have been hard as hell. I just wrote a book that's coming out here in a couple of weeks, basically about grief, called Born for Meaning. And, you know, then you got other people that are kind of waving around out there, you know, crying out for anybody to care. And when somebody finally does stop, when somebody looks you in the eyes and says, I see you, I feel you, it's okay not to be okay, I think it's a sacred moment.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's a sacred moment. And I think you could see it on that girl's face, regardless if it's showmanship or performance, that girl was blessed. That's the ministry. That's the healing. That's Jesus in shoe leather right there. That's Jesus with tattoos on his face, you know. This is the book. It's coming out, Born for Meaning. And, you know, walking through the ashes towards unbreakable joy. Man, I'm trying to live it out. Grief doesn't care about your schedule. Grief doesn't care who you're around. It'll bust out on your face, through your eye holes. I mean, it's bad because it doesn't ask for permission. It just moves in. And when it does, it doesn't leave very quietly either. So in the middle of the storm, I love it when God sends people, moments, songs, even concerts to remind us that we're not alone. Party Foul Steve reminds me every day I'm not alone.
You're not alone.
And you know what, Steve? You know what, Steve? We don't like to admit it because we're big, tough guys, right? We just, you know, I mean, we're guys that like for somebody to bring us.
I'm less and less tough every day.
I get convicted because of how untough I am these days. But you know, all of us are sort of like that little girl. I think that's my message these days to these big, rough and tumble, rugged dudes, man. Because I was talking this morning over coffee to some of the guys that, you know, we know a lot of guys who have done a lot of crazy things in this world. Special ops and undercover, covert guys. They've done some crazy killing in their life. But we're all like that little girl, you know, you lost somebody, your life's ripped a hole in your heart, and you're trying to hold up. And maybe a lot of people out there watching this today kind of holding up that invisible sign, hoping somebody's going to see it. Well, let me say this to you. We here at the Chad Prather Show, me and Steve, we see you. More importantly, and this is what's important, God sees you. Psalm 34:18 says, the Lord's close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. That's not poetry. That's a promise, because God's not standing far off judging your tears. He's moving in closer. So I know that Jelly Roll, God bless him, man. I hope he keeps on this little journey. That guy's got a heart. I mean, you say what you want to say. I don't care about the leaked clips of him dropping F-bombs or talking about this or that or what his marriage is like. Whatever. You know what? He's on a journey too.
We're so quick to, when these dressed up pastors fall from what they're doing, and we're so quick to jump on them and just, you know, say whatever. But then you see somebody coming the opposite way. And why aren't we jumping on their bandwagon to lift them up during this? Yeah, dude, if you pulled all the skeletons out of our closets, we wouldn't be even worthy to speak.
Well, and that's why you speak in light of it, because you're not perfect. You're just forgiven. And we're, you know, this life is not a performance. You know, we're not players strutting about on stage. And that's why I think that if we'll be transparent, open, that the most powerful sermons out there don't come from the pulpit. They just come from real life. So I think the takeaway is whatever you're going through, however broken you feel, don't let the pain lie to you. Let it convince you that it doesn't have to stay hidden. You never know when Jelly Roll might sing a song to you, man. You know, that's the beauty of humanity.
He might sing one to me this afternoon. I'll hop in the truck and turn it up. Might need it. It won't be Ozzy.
It won't be Ozzy. I mean, when I'm feeling alone in the dark, I'm not cranking Ozzy. God rest his soul. I pray that he's where he needs to be, but where we hope he is. But anyway, pain has a purpose, and sometimes you never know where that ministry to that pain is going to come from. So.